What's up YouTube? For today's video, we're going for Locked In Moves Pokemon team. Hope you've locked in your seatbelts, people, because these battles were hype. So this theme team revolves around me taking the opponent out with locked in Pokemon moves. Now there's only a handful of them, so it actually made for a very difficult theme team to do, but a very fun one at the same time. Now I do have a quick little announcement, people, before we get into the video. If you notice under my video, there actually is a join button. If you can't see the join button, it will be on my channel. Now what that means is it's an optional little support thing for the Pimpnite channel. Everything goes towards my videos and all my streaming and stuff like that. And basically what this join button is, it's a little monthly subscription, and you can actually get some extra little cool things. You get some loyalty badges, just loading on the screen there for how long you've been a member for, custom emojis, and plus I'm going to be adding some other cool things in there. At the moment, I'm going to be actually adding like priority to like theme teams and Pokemon videos there, so you can actually get them early before anyone else in the community tab. So pretty cool little thing, and shout out to people who already are members on the channel. Those things will be coming into effect in the next few weeks or so. All right, anyway, let's get into this one. This was a triple battle special. Hope you guys enjoy these. Let's shoot for 2,000 likes today, people, if you're hyped for the theme teams. We haven't had them for a couple of days. So, we got a battle on my Discord. This one was against Spoopy Q. I hope I said their name right. And we got a Delibird lead here. Let's go what this amazing Delibird set was. Delibird was pretty much useless in every battle. I'm just going to say that now. Okay, so we got Ice Ball. Now, Ice Ball locks you in. It's like Rollout, but it's an ice version, right? That's to put things simply. Now, I had on that one Ice Ball, Hail, Aurora Veil, and Substitute. I had some other support moves on these Pokemon. Essentially, I had to take the opponent out with locked-in moves. Okay, so my next Pokemon was the Lunatone, and we got the Sword Dance Mimikyu with Shadow Sneak. Totally never ever saw that one coming, and it's going to actually nearly take out my Lunatone, but Lunatone actually managed to live and get a Toxic off. Now, this is a rollout Lunatone. In this battle, it didn't really do too much, but in the battles, after this one, it actually didn't do too badly. So we got the Defense Curl, Rollout, Toxic, and Skill Swap. We got the Ability Levitate and Item Quick Claw. So here, I got the Quick Claw activation right, but since the Mimikyu is using a priority move, it actually didn't matter, and Lunatone is going to get sent to the moon. But we still have 4 Pokemon remaining, people, and I did get the Toxic up against the Mimikyu. So we've got to take this out. Now, the battles that I'm doing were actually OU, so it was actually kind of difficult. There was one Pokemon in this team which was kind of strong, so that's why I kind of asked for a little bit better, Pokemon, than usual. So we got this Stoutland here, the mighty Uproar Stoutland, and I was going to use Taurus, but I've used Taurus a lot of times, so I thought I'd use Stoutland instead. Let's go over what this amazing set was anyway. So we got Work Up, Raw, Substitute, and Uproar, Max Special Attack, and Max Speed, Timid Nature, Ability Scrappy, so we can hit Ghost, and of course we got the item as Silk Scarf to boost that notorious overpowered Uproar. Alright, so Mimikyu is going to finally go down, but of course half my team's already gone, so it's kind of, it's kind of a difficult battle at the moment to actually kind of get into. So we've got the Dino coming in. Now, Dino was a Outrage Choice Banded set with Hustle. Mega Horn misses, and Outrage actually hits. How's that for irony, people? I had Hustle, and, I managed to miss the attack. Miss the Mega Horn, and I took it out with the Outrage. So we got the Scolipede going down, and now we got the Florks coming out. Shiny Florks looks pretty cool. I'm locked into Outrage. Of course, there's nothing I can do, and Florks is going to fire the moon at me, and Dino is going to go down. So I've only got 2 Pokemon remaining. I've got to get back into this battle. Things are not looking too good at the moment. Right, actually, Outrage was the only move I had, just by the way, with Choice Band, so if you're wondering. So I'm going to swap in my Florks now. So this set was pretty cool. I've used this once or twice before. It's pretty interesting. So we've got on this one, Grassy Terrain, Petal Dance, Camouflage, and Wish. Let me explain what this set does. So firstly, you set up the Grassy Terrain right, so you get the grass on the field, nice and grassy, right? And not only do you get some health recovery, you can also use Camouflage. Now what Camouflage does, if Grassy Terrain is up on the field and you use Camouflage, it'll turn you into a grass type. So you can probably see where this one's going. And now I can use Petal Dance, which will be Stab Petal Dance with Max Health and Max Special Attack, Modest Nature. And that is going to do some thumping damage. Also got Wishes some recovery as well. The ability didn't really matter. It was Flower Veil, and the item was Paris and Berry. So if I did get that confusion, the Parasol Berry would kick in there and, you know, get rid of that for at least a one-time use. So doing some pretty solid damage here. The only problem was I was actually versing a pretty decent, you know, a pretty standardy kind of Flog set with Calm Mind, so my memes, it didn't really work too well. It did some pretty good damage, like, considering, but, you know, I started to get walled here at the end. Now, I also want to say, there could be a couple of people who said, why do you include moves like, you know, Dig, Fly, Skull Bash, things like that, Solar Beam, that, you know, you're locked into using them. The difference between those moves is these moves are, you're attacking initially straight away, right? Whereas those moves are like two-turn, they're like charge moves, right? They're, you know, they're sort of like, their category is like charge. So that's the difference between these moves. If you could, you know, if you could see that. Anyway, so I can't really do too much here at all. I've only got 2 Pokemon left, so I've got to spam Petal Dance as hard as I can. And we got the Calm Minding, Moon Blasting Flogs hitting me pretty hard there. I just live on 8 health. There's really nothing I can do here. I've only got 1 more Pokemon left to try and get me into this game. And the good thing about it, the last Pokemon I've got is actually the best Pokemon on my team. Alright, so we got the grass disappearing from the battle, which doesn't really matter too much. I can't do anything. I'm there for another Petal Dance here. Kind of hoping, like low-key hoping for a crit there. And it does about 2 damage. I'm going to get confused again. However, I'm going to go down to a Moonblast there. And thank goodness it didn't use Wish. Alright, so down goes my Flogs. Actually, out of all the colors, I'd say I probably like the white or the red Flogs the best. They're pretty interesting. I should do a Flogs team one day. I probably should. That'd be kind of interesting. Okay, so my last Pokemon is the Pinsir. Now, Pinsir is definitely the best Pokemon I've got going on this team. Let's go over what this amazing set was anyway. So, obviously, we had the Pinsirite Mega Pinsir with Thrash. So, that would turn into Aerolate, and it was pretty damn strong. We got Max Attack and Max Speed on this one. We got Sword Dance, Focus, Energy, and Substitute. Now, the Pinsir did have Moxie too, so I could, you know, try and get a Moxie up and then, you know, Digivolve. But it kind of was difficult with Thrash, right? Because obviously, as you guys know, Thrash locks you in. Alright, so we got the, I think that is the... Oh, I'm trying to think what that Vivillon pattern is right now. Anyway, I beat a butterfly just straight out of the sky there. Man, I remember when I was a kid, I used to catch butterflies. Like, I used to like, I don't know, I had like this period in my life where like I really like insects and stuff. And I'd catch them and, you know, I collect them and stuff. I don't know, did anyone ever have that kind of period in life? And then you'd have like that dinosaur period. I don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, we got the Toxin coming in there, almost taking it out, and it's going to try, damn son, it tried to get an Acid Armor up, trying to like stall me out, but that is not going to happen there, and Pitts is going to snap out of confusion and get a Thrash off, and Toxin is going to go down in the Toxic, but before it goes down in the Toxic, it's going to poison me with its Poison Points. Man, what do you think its poison point is, on its tail or its head? I don't know. Alright people, we got 1 more Pokemon left, and that is Foggy. Now Foggy is a little bit of a worry here because it's going to definitely outspeed me. Greninja is a very, very fast Pokemon. And, of course, it's going to go for a Protein Ice Beam. And, yeah, my bug is going to get Shrek. But, people, I was pretty happy with that battle. Like, seriously, most of my team actually went down. And Pinsir almost took, like, nearly, I don't know, like, nearly all of them out. I was very happy with that. Thank you for the battle, Spoopy Q. I can't say that username right. But anyway, let's get on to the second battle. Now, this was a battle against D'Antonio. This was also on my Discord. And we got a Magnezone lead. So as you guys could probably guess already, my team was, you know, it struggled against any Steel-type Pokemon whatsoever because, like, all of the moves are pretty much bad against Steel. Actually, all of them were, yeah. That's no wonder I struggled. All right, so Delibird is ever so helpful in this battle again. It's gonna fade. Now, the reason I put that out at the start is because it was walled. It really couldn't do anything at all to any of the Pokemon. So we got the Magnezone there, and we got the Lunatone coming in here. Now we got the Slazzle coming in there on the Volt Switch, I believe, and now we got the Slazzle swapping. So that's actually not too bad. Now the Lunatone, as I mentioned before, Lunatone actually did a little bit more in this battle than it did last time. And we're gonna go for the Rollout here. So Rollout getting 1 hit off. Not that it's very effective at all. It's not doing a lot of damage. I get a quick little activation, and now we're going to go for a second rollout here. I love how Lunatone uses, like, the moon sort of, like, rolls, and then it turns into a rock. It's sort of like firing off, like, a mini asteroid. I guess you could say that right. All right, so I'm going to get Leaf Bladed, and the moon is going to go, you know, guys, the moon is going to set again. Right, so I'm going to set, speaking of sending a Pokemon, we're going to go into the Dino here. Now I'm going to go for the Outrage. The Decidueye is going to go for the Roost, right? Now that is the last Roost it would ever do in its entire life because guess what, guys? The Outrage with Choice Band and Hustle is going to actually connect. And man, this thing takes no prisoners at all. It's pretty powerful. So we add on this one Adamant Nature as well. Max health and max attack. So pretty powerful. Now we've got the Azumarill coming in. I cannot do a thing to this at all. It's going to go for the Play Rough. Play Rough misses. Outrage obviously is not going to affect it. I'm locked in. Now I can actually swap out here because I'm confused. That's a good thing about that. I was kind of lucky. So I'm going to swap out my Dino here. And now we're going to go into Flog. So I was thinking I might better get like a low-key Pedal Dance off and, you know, one-shot this in one go. And hopefully it use something. It may get overconfident and use like a belly drum, and then I might be able to take it out right. So go for the Pedal Dance here. It does a thumping damage to the Azumarill. Unfortunately, Azumarill is going to go for the Liquidation here. Liquidation does some really good damage, and obviously that is going to take out Flox. But it did some pretty good damage. I'm very happy with that. Now, we can't send in Dino, obviously. We're going to send in the amazing Uproar Stoutland. So I was thinking, okay, if this has got like a fighting type move, it could be bad, or I could just, you know, generally get hit by the Liquidation, which would be bad as well. So I decided to go for the Uproar, like, right away there. And Uproar does, well, let's look on the bright side, right? Let's look on the bright side with the Magnesite. At least it got rid of its sturdy if it had it, right? Not that I was ever going to one-shot this, you know, at all in my entire lifetime. All right, so we're going to get 2 Uproars up, which is important, guys. That was some really important damage. So, it looks like Flash Cannon is a 3-hit KO. Stoutland's a fairly bulky Pokemon. We're just going to keep going for Uproar. I was kind of hoping, like, I'd come across a Pokemon, you know, of rest and stuff, because Uproar, like, stops sleep. Uproar is a horrible move. Like, just don't ever use Uproar. I'm the only person who will probably ever use it. So, Stoutland finally calms down from its uproaring rage. We're going to go for another Uproar. I think that's Uproar number 4. Almost getting close to half health now on the Magnesite. And Magnesite is going to go for a Tri-Attack there. Finish me off. That was a very mean thing to do there. Very disrespectful to my Stoutland. Okay, so we got 2 more Pokemon left. We're going to go into Dino. I was thinking I might be able to get like an Outrage off. Even though it's not very effective, it should do like a decent chunk of damage. So the Magnezone's going to go for a Tri-Attack. I was like, please don't burn me or freeze me. And of course, Outrage misses at such a crucial time. So now Magnezone is going to go for yet another Tri-Attack. They're trying to burn and freeze me. And Outrage is going to actually connect on the Magnezone. It doesn't do like a lot of damage, but I guess it does a little bit of damage, which is better than nothing. And now Magnezone is going to finish me off with the Tri-Attack. Man, I need a drink of water soon. All right, but before I drink my can of water, I'm going to swap in my Pinsir. So Pinsir's my last Pokemon. Now, as you guys know, I got to go for the Thrash. I was like, okay, let's go for Thrash. Let's see if we can get that hot, fresh Moxie going. Live! The car's like, damn it. And now we got the Magneto go for the Volt Switch there. And it does a little bit under half health. But the problem is, right, I'm locked into Thrash now, and it's kind of bad. So we got the Azumarill coming in here. Now, I'm not sure if this thing actually has Aqua Jet. It obviously doesn't. And now I'm going to go for the Thrash, and that's going to take out the Azumarill. Now, the good thing about that, apart from being locked into Thrash, which is horrible, I get a +1 in attack rise. So that's good. And I get confused. So the only good thing about me getting confused is I can Digivolve and kind of pray that, I won't hit myself in confusion. So we've got the Lycanroc coming in here. I'm going to go for my Digi-Evolution here. Man, I miss watching Digimon. Digimon, Digital Monsters. You guys watch that when you were kids. Anyway, so we're going to Digivolve into Mega Pinsir here. I actually don't mind Mega Pinsir's design. You guys know I'm not like a huge Mega loving person there, but I don't mind a start. So Lycanroc just gets absolutely annihilated there, even though it's not very effective with the Aerial Weight boost and of course the Moxie. And that was awesome. I got around the confusion. So at this point, I was quite happy here. And now I'm going to go for a Thrash again against the Slazzle. And this is the point where I kind of started laughing because I got around that too. And Slazzle's going to go down. Guys, the crit definitely mattered. So that was going to go down. We got 2 Pokemon left. We got a Malamar and we got a Magnezone. Now, I know I can take the Magnezone out, but this other Pokemon starting with M that was the problem run. So Pinsir, it's got to hit itself for confusion. I was like, no. I had such a good run there. And Malamar's going to go for the Night Slash. Your boy lives on 3 health. And guess what, guys? I snap out of the confusion and go for the Thrash on the Malamar. Malamar is going to get turned into some squid rings, man. I had some squid rings like yesterday. Well, that was so good. All right, so the last Pokemon is the Magnezone. Magnezone is like 1 health. I'm going to plug my merch. Actually, low-key, it's probably on 3. And I'm going to go for another Thrash and finish off the Magnezone. And, man, what an absolute incredible comeback there with a with the Mega Pinsel. Like, it literally did everything. Like, my entire team was just like dog poo. So the last battle we got, this one was against Skylar. And we got a triple battle special tonight, people, because, yeah, I thought I'd give you guys some extra entertainment. All right, we got the Dugong. Do not use me. I actually don't mind that username. So I got to swap out Delibird, because Delibird is not going to do anything to Dugong at all. And we got Fake out here. So I thought, okay, I might be able to make use of the pedal dance on the Dugong. So we got the Aquajet here on the Dugong. It's not going to do a lot of damage. I thought about going for grassy terrain and camouflage, but I thought, nah. What that'll do is probably actually give my strategy away. Like, if, you know, after I use camouflage, I turn into a grass type. So the probably think, you know, I'll go for a grass type move, right? All right, so you guys got to swap out that Dr. Owzy, man. Dr. Owzy. I'm sorry about that. All right, so we're going to go for the, that was the pedal dance set. Now, this is very, very special defensive with Everlight. You can see that, you know, judging on the damage I'm doing there. It's actually a 5-hit KO. Alright, so I'm going to get confused there. My Parison Berry is going to kick in there and get rid of my my confusion. Now, the reason I use Parison Berry instead of Lub, in case someone used like Toxic, you know, Exhibit A there. So, obviously, I only want that to activate when I was confused. So, I got a Toxic, which is kind of annoying. So, I thought, okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make use of this grassy terrain and camouflage, like, straight away. Drowsy is not going to be doing, like, a lot of damage. I say it's definitely more, you know, judging on the damage you did to it. It's only going to be like a, just a kind of special defensive wall. So it's going to go for the future sight. My future's not looking too bright with this Toxic and this bulky Drowsy in front of me, but I've got to do some damage, right, guys? I've got to do something. So it's very bulky. It's got Toxic. It's got future sight. So like, okay, maybe it's got rest or something like that. And I'm going to go into the grass type with the camouflage. Sorry, I'm going to camouflage and go into a grass type. God dang. All right, so Drowsy's going to go to sleep. I was so tempted to bring in my up-roll Pokemon. I thought, nah, I won't. I've got my strategy going here. If things, you know, go south, I could do that. All right, so we got my Flog's taking a little bit more damage from the Toxic. Now, I'm thinking, Olay, let's go for the pedal dance, right? This is going to do some really big damage. Unfortunately for me, they have a freaking Moltres. So I was like, okay, this is bad because Moltres is going to be able to, you know, easily resist that with all its beautiful fire and flying resistances. Look how much that did to that, right? That was a lot of damage, like, considering the resistant, like, quad resistant. Okay, so taking a little bit of future sight damage from the Drowsy, and I'm going to go down to the next attack. Whatever this Moltres is going to do to me, it's going to do to me, alright? So we got the Flame Charge. That's going to take me out. It was super effective. Unfortunately, right, I was a Grass type too. That was like such a good counter. So Fire types actually were really good against this team. Like, I'm looking at my team right now. When you look at things, you look at Lunatone, right? That's probably the best Pokemon. Quick Lure activates for a rollout, but Moltres is going to swap. Oh, my heart just sank then, guys. My heart sank into, like, a world of Dr. Owzy. So I was thinking I could get, like, a lot of roll-ups out against this. Did I say roll-up instead of roll-out? Guys, new Pokemon move, roll-up. What would roll-up be, though? Like, what would, it kind of remind, actually, I used to eat something when I was a kid that was called a roll. It was sort of like, it was like a, wasn't a muesli bar? Or it's like something, like, it rolled up, right? You'd never guess, guys. I used to eat something called a roll-up, and it actually rolled up. Anyway, let's get back to the battle. I'm getting sidetracked once again. So we've got the Drowsy going for the Sleep Talk there. It's going to get rest. So, you know, the Drowsy's been watching a few Pimpnite videos, I think. So I'm thinking it's going to try and get a Toxic off, obviously, and, you know, try and storm me out with the rest. Now, I'm getting a lot of rollouts up. I think that's actually, that was the second or third rollout against the Drowsy. Now, Drowsy's going to get a Toxic off against me. That's very unfortunate because I could have actually bowled over a lot of these Pokemon. Now, I'm thinking right here, I really, really need my Lunatone for Moltres. Like, one rollout will just, like, destroy that. Even, like, the first rollout will do a lot of damage. I really need that because, as I was going to say before, if you take Lunatone out of the picture, like, Delibird's weak against Moltres, Pinsir's weak against Moltres, Stoutland's not, Dino is not, and we got Flogs. It's going to turn to Grass type is, so, and that's already, you know, that's already KO. It's like half my team's got, you know, kind of weak to fight. All right, so we got the Dugong coming in. It's going to go for Fake Out. Now, Fake Out is going to stop me from attacking. Obviously, it's going to stop my rollouts, and I'm going to get poison damage. So that's kind of bad. That's not it's kind of bad, but it's good, right? Because I can swap out Lunatone and bring it in against the Moltres later on, right? Alright, so into the number one most handy player on my team, which is the Delibird. And Aquajet is going to be a 3-hit KO. I know, because I'm so bulky, right? So we got the Dugong going for Aquajet there. Delibird just lives, right? It just lives and gets that Ice Ball. Ice Ball looks awesome. Alright, so we get 1 damage against the Dugong. Man, imagine if Dugong had thick fat. That'd probably, if it had thick fat, it should have done nothing, right? It should have done nothing. So Delibird's going to go down. Now, this Dugong, I believe, after all the things I did to it, it had a Salt Vest. So it was too bulky, right? So we're going to go for a workup here. Dugong's going to go for the Ice Shard, right? So I went for workup, so I was thinking, I think there could be a chance this could have a Salt Vest, because it's used all attacking moves, right? You know, it'd be a good item, you know, to actually put on the Dugong too. So I thought, let's go see if they, you know, give this one a try. And the Uproar doesn't take it out. So I was like, okay, definitely has a Salt Vest, very bulky. Now we got the Druron. Druron does not crit me, which is good. And I can go for another Outrage. I mean, Uproar, man. Goodness. And it's going to go for, obviously, an Aquajet for a little bit of extra damage. And the Uprage. The Uprage! Man, Uprage. That's actually, Uprage is actually a really good name for a Pokemon attack. Like, what would that be? Like, that'd be a mixture of Outrage and Uproar. Alright, so why is Poliwag so big for? So it's gonna come in and spank my mustache. I live on 2 health, and I'm gonna get an Uproar up now. I do have a +1, and I got a freaking Silk Scarf, and it takes it out in 1. It's called Poliwag. It's called Poliwag. Alright, so finally Stoutland comes down there, and we got 2 more, actually we got 3 more Pokemon, and of course we got this freaking Moltres, right? So Moltres obviously is going to outspeed me, it's going to go for the Flame Charge there. So I was kind of wondering, what did Moltres have to hit, physical Moltres have to hit my Lunatone, outside of something like Steel Wing, right? Because I've run like a physical one, and pretty much all you can do against Rock-type Pokemon is go for a Steel Wing. So I thought, let's go to Dino, let's see what this thing actually has. I think I can live this. It's going to go for the Aero Ace. Now, Aero Ace is a 3-hit KO. Outrage misses. Oh, that was so important. I really need to actually bury this Moltres like ASAP. It's going to go for another an Aero Ace. I live on 2 health. I think I've lived on 2 health twice now. And I get the Outrage off, and Moltres, man, Moltres is going to faint. I was so happy about that one. So we got it's 3v2 right now, but anyway, Jinx is going to come in, and it's going to take me out pretty much with any kind of move. It's going to have Powder Snow. All right, so it's going to throw some little powders at me, and down goes my Dino. But it's good news, right? Because I can actually swap in my Lunatone, right? And now I can go for I might be able to go for my rollout and get like a Quick Claw maybe. All right, so we got the Jinx going there for low key like Powder Snow there. I'm gonna go for rollout. We need to get some rollouts against the Jinx, and I still have the Pinsir, right? So things are looking pretty good at the moment. So I was kind of hoping I could get a Quick Claw here and take the Jinx out, and then live the next attack, and then fire off a rollout against the last Pokemon. However, that did not come to fruition. And old Looney is going to go down. But it's good. It's going to take the Jinx with it, which is nice. Okay, so there's 1 more Pokemon left. I was actually pretty confident I could take this one outright. I thought, well, I've got the best Pokemon on my team. Can't take this out. There's something wrong, right? So, we got the Pinsir. This is the... I did want a Mega Evolve. I was thinking, okay, I want to take this Seeking outright with a Sword Dance Thrash. Like, 1 Sword Dance Thrash should be enough, right? All right, look at that name, guys. Look at that name. So go for the Sword Dance. I got a +2 in attack, which is nice. And then I was like, okay, I can either go for the Mega Evolution or just thrash it away, right? So we've got the Seeking going for a, this is actually a Water type move. I'm not really sure what it was. It either was Waterfall or it was Water Pulse. Water Pulse would actually be like super mean if it was like a special Seeking. I actually be like super annoyed if it was. Because guess what, guys? The Seeking is going to go for its Water type move, and it took my Pinsir out in 1 shot before I could get a Thrash off. I'm so salty. I bet that was I bet that was Water Pulse. All right, I need to go for a piss. All right, see you guys. Hope you enjoyed it.